Welcome back to my channel once again. In this video, I'm going to be teaching how to cut and sew this kimono dress with drawstring. If you are interested in it, kindly watch till the end. Let's get started. So these are the materials I'm going to be using: a tape measure, a chalk, a ruler, and then a fabric for the work. So the fabric is folded into two, that is unfold at the center front. And then the length of the dress depends on you. You can make it long, short, whatever length you want to use. Just go ahead and then use it. So I'm going to be cutting it according to the pattern in it. You can see the pattern is facing up. So I'll be cutting the neck at the upper part of it. So at the upper part, I marked ½ inch down to get a straight line or to get away with the writings on the fabric. So after that, I'll mark 3 inches down from the shoulder. That line is going to be our shoulder line, 3 inches down and then 3 inches in to get the neckline. After that, just go ahead and then connect from one point to the other, just like this. So this will be the front neckline. I'm going to be cutting the back neckline in it. So I'll go ahead and then mark 1 inch down as well and then connect to the 3 inches in. I'm cutting both front and back together, or I'm using that same fabric for the pattern. So that's why I'm cutting both front and back neckline in one. After marking from the center front, I'm going to be dividing the hip of the person into 4. So whatever you get, just mark it and then add about 3, 4 or 5 inches or even bigger. It depends on how big you want it to be. So I'm going to be adding 4 inches to it to make it big on the body. So after dividing the hip by 4, you can add 4 inches or 3 or even more than 4 inches depending on how big you want it to be. So after adding the 4 inches, whatever I got, I'll go ahead and then mark that from the upper part through to the hem of it. After that, I'll go ahead and then connect the lines together. So just like this, I'll go ahead and then connect the lines together. Now from the upper part, I'm going to be marking 2 inches or 1.5 inches down, depending on how you want the slant to be. So you can mark from 1 to about 2 inches. That is for the shoulder slant. So after marking down, I'll go ahead and then connect with my ruler. From here, I'll be marking 12 inches down to get the armhole, or you can choose to mark your bust measurements down and then add about 2 inches to it to get the armhole line. So after marking the armhole line, I'll go ahead and then extend the line to the other end of the fabric. So just extend it out just like this on the upper and then the lower part. You can see I'm doing same for the shoulder. This is to enable me get the sleeve. So from that center line, I'll go ahead and then mark about 1 inches in, just like that. So after marking 1 inch, I'll go out by 1.5 inch again from that line, and then I mark another 1.5 inches in down. So I'll be connecting from that 1.5 to the 1 inch to the other 1.5 I marked, just to get the curve for the sleeve. So that is it at this point. I'm done marking the sleeve. And then from that point, I'll go ahead and then mark about 5 inches out, since the remaining fabric is less. If you have more fabric, you can make it longer. So I'll go ahead and then connect the 2 points together to get the sleeve. So at this point I'm done, and then I'll go ahead and then cut out, but I'll start cutting from the back neckline, since I'll be cutting both front and back on the same fabric. I'll be using the same fabric to cut the back and then the front. So after cutting out, I'll go ahead and then teach you how to make the drawstring. So from the hem of the dress, I measured 16 or about 16 inches up, or from the armhole, measure the length from the hem to the armhole and then divide it by 2. After dividing it, mark the center and then make the drawstring at that point. You can see I added extra 1 inch to it. That 1 inch will serve as the place I'll be inserting I'll be making the drawstring. So as you can see, I added extra 1 inch from the center of that point. That means from the armhole line through to the hem divided by 2. So when I marked the center, I went out by 1 inch to the hem where I'll be inserting the drawstring. You can actually make it very long if you want. Instead of dividing it by 2, you can make it longer. So at this point, I've laid another fabric down, and then I'll be putting the first one on it to cut out the back. So after cutting out the back, this is what I have. Then I'll go ahead and then work on the front of it. So after cutting out the back, I'll go ahead and then cut out the neckline for the front, since the other part of it is the same as the back. The only difference is the neckline. So that is it. And at this point, I'm done cutting out the front. Then I'll be opening it up just like this. So I'll have to shape the neckline, but I'll be doing that after joining the shoulders together. So now we have 2 pieces for the front and then 1 piece for the back. So at this point, I'll go ahead and then join the shoulders together with right sides facing each other. Make sure you mark the wrong and then right side of your fabric. So after sewing, this is what I have, and then I'll go ahead and then join this part as well. So I'm going to be joining straight to the hem. So I'll be sewing about 1/2 inch to the end, and then the extra fabric left there will be used for the drawstring. So that is it for now. So I went ahead to stitch 1 inch. As you can see, the space is about 1 inch where I'll be inserting the string. So before sewing this part, make sure you fold the hem in. Fold the hem in before you make that stitching. So at this point, I went ahead to stitch this, which I'll be inserting it in. It's about 1/2 inches. So just sew it as you want. You can make it bigger if you want it big. So I'll just go ahead and then insert it in at this point. So while stitching, I left space at the upper part of that hole where I'm inserting the string. So just pay attention to it and you will see. So as you can see, there's a hole there which I'll be pulling out. So after pulling it out, I'll go ahead and then close it. Note we are inserting the string on 4 sides. So I'll be inserting on this side and then the other side as well. So in all, the string should be 4. So after inserting, this is what I have on one side, 2, I went ahead to stitch or secure the upper part. As you can see, it is not moving. So this is how you make the string at this point. Now I'm going to be working on the pocket. So from the shoulder, I'll go ahead and then mark about 18 inches. So if you are short, measure to your waist and then go down by about 1 inch to get the pocket line. So I just cut out the pocket and I'll be folding it in at this point. So I'll folded the upper part in and then stitched, and I'll be folding the sides in and then the hem as well. So do your pocket as big as you want. And you can see at that side I didn't fold in because I'll be attaching that to the opening of the front, since I'll be finishing it with another fabric. So just go ahead and then place it on like this at the center front. The fabric looks same, so it's difficult to see, but then just pay attention to what I'm doing and you will understand. So I just went ahead to pin it together at this point, and then I'll go ahead and then measure the length of the dress. So after measuring the opening, I went ahead to cut this out, which I'll be inserting in, or I'll be stitching from that point through to the neckline and then to the other hem as well. But before doing that, I'll go ahead and then shape the neckline. So just fold it into two like this, the front into two like this, and then pin, and then I'll go ahead and then pin the neckline as well. Sorry, the shoulders as well. So after pinning it, this is what I have. So this is how we are going to be shaping the neckline. From the shoulder of the front neckline, mark to the waistline, from the shoulder to the waist, and then just make the mark as you can see in the image above. I just realized that part didn't show in my video, so just mark and then connect to the waist like it is in the video. After that, go ahead and then cut out like I'm doing. So after cutting this out, we are now going to attach the band to the center front through to the back neckline to the other part of the center front. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and then pin the band to the jacket. So we are starting from the hem of the center front through to the other parts of it. So after joining it, this is what I have, and you can see the outcome looks nice and then neat. So don't forget to like, comment, and share my videos. See you another time. Bye.